Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Come on, let's catch up. She's my mama's on the move.
Daddy, I should finally be a Broadway star.
Yep.
Yeah. So cool.
Our first park was Hollywood Studios. Now, if you're not familiar with Hollywood Studios, or if you're a first-time visitor and you're just trying to get some insight, Hollywood Studios is basically everything Hollywood wrap up into one theme park, Disney-wise. So you're not. It's not Universal. You're not going to see Homer Simpson or anything. It's everything Disney. It's Mickey. It's Ariel. It's The Incredibles. It's everything Hollywood. The Tower of Terror. It's a Starlight of that park, and it used to be called MGM Studios.
Yes.
And they changed the name. I can't remember when they changed the name, but they changed the name to Hollywood Studios at some point. So that's what we know it as now.
Back in the early 2000s or so, they
Yeah.
changed it. But with that being said, since you said Hollywood, a lot of times when you first enter the park, it's like old Hollywood vibes. Like old Hollywood as far as like it's in Walt Disney World's eyes. So when he went to California and he was in Hollywood, like in the 1930s or so. Anyway, when you walk into the park, you get that vibe. You hear the music, that type of, that time frame music. Especially when you go over to Tower of Terror area, but you'll hear the music. It kind of just, you get the theming immediately. So you feel like you're there, especially walking down the Hollywood Boulevard and stuff like that. Now they have a lot of shows at Hollywood Studios, meaning that they have live, like Broadway style shows. Some are in air conditioning, some are not, but they're covered and you'll at least be out of the sun. So they have shows. I can just list down some of the shows. They have Beauty and the Beast live on stage. They have the Disney Junior Dance Party, which that's inside of a building, which is air conditioned, which is nice for parents. We have the First Time in Forever, the Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, which is air conditioning and a special surprise at the end of the show. Indiana Jones Epic Spectacular, Stunt Spectacular. You have the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, which is pretty much, I would call it a show because it pretty much is a show. They have the Muppet Vision 3D.
That was fun.
Yes, that is a nice one. It's also air conditioned as well. You have the Star Wars Adventures continues. And I think that's all the shows that are indoors. As far as everything else, there are rides and meet and greets. Lots of character meet and greets.
Yes, we're on the record over there.
Okay. Come on, buddy. Prawn. The Pepe, the king prawn.
Hey, look! Look at the guy in the goofy mask!
For the comfort and safety of everyone around you, please no flash photography.
of meet and greets, as far as lots of different Pixar characters that you'll see. Chip and Dale. We saw a lot of different characters. Chewbacca, R2-D2. As far as Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
BB-8.
Yes,
Yeah.
BB-8. We have BB-8. Meet and greet with Olaf, Mickey and Minnie. On their red carpet affair, and also lots of Disney Junior characters as well, especially in that Disney Junior dance party area. Like, I think we saw Vampirina, we saw Fancy Nancy, Doc McStuffins, a lot of different Disney Junior characters, and also during the dance party as well.
I think, didn't they have Timon and Pumbaa inside the dance party? I can't remember exactly. We did go. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the dance party because I got to sit down and take a break while the kids dance. And then Muppet Vision 3D it's kind of dated, but me being a first time goer, I had a lot of fun with it. And then everything's just interactive. So, you get the 3D glasses, you get to sit and watch the show, everything's popping out, jumping out at you. But they also add some extras. So you have, what is that guy's name that comes out every now and again? It's not Monster. Who is it? I can't remember my Muppets. But they come out, they walk around every now and again. The holes blow through the wall. It's just a lot of fun. So if you've never done it before, I definitely recommend doing it. The one thing that I will warn you about if you're a first time goer, because nobody tells you this, when you go to those shows, there's a room that you stand in for a little bit. There's TVs all over the place so you can watch a little show. That is not the show. Like, I know.
Yeah, you actually sit down in like a theater.
Right,
like
it's a theater. So, because there was a lot of people, oddly enough, I stuck around because I knew that wasn't the show.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, I was seeing people come in and then they was leaving and I couldn't figure out why until I realized, I think they thought that was the show.
Right.
They thought you were supposed to stand there the whole time and stare at that TV screen. That's not the show. The show is...
It's the pre-show.
Right,
they
that's
like to
the
call
pre-show.
It. A lot of rides have pre-shows. Like, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. Of course, there's lots of rides and attractions and shows like I mentioned earlier. But I recommend before, you want to download that My Disney Experience app. Now, before you go to each theme park, say if you're just doing 1 or 2 theme parks, no problem. You don't have the time to do all 4 like we did. But I would say learn that park, know what's there, know what characters are there, and probably watch the TV shows, watch the movies, so you can be very fresh with what the characters are doing, because they completely are in their own character world. So when you meet and greet with them, ask them questions like Olaf, for example. You can ask him, have you enjoyed summer? Just different things like that you can think of, like how's Anna and Elsa or anything like that, because they don't know about our world. They are in their world.
We'd like to know what you're doing on that data pad.
Nothing.
In that case, we'll be tracking you and your device. Dismissed.
Okay. They're going to say somebody has to be watching.
And with Hollywood Studios, there's different lands, kind of like different lands in the park. So even though it's Hollywood Studios, you have Sunset Boulevard, you have the Tower of Terror section, you have Galaxy's Edge, which is its own immersive experience. Like, it has the big Millennium Falcon. You can really get engulfed into being in that land. You really feel like you're there. If you're a Star Wars fan, you would just spend so much time and just looking at all the details. Even the signs and things are in that language.
Very immersed.
Yes.
Very much so.
In the Star Wars language. Is it like Batu?
Yeah.
Language,
Batu.
yes. So yes, they have it in that language, which might want to brush up on that as well. But yes, very immersive with that. Also, the next land over is Toy Story Land, which a lot of people loves that. You have the idea of that is to basically, Andy has built basically like a carnival theme park or whatever in his backyard. So you can literally see yourself shrinking down into a toy. So everything is so big. It's like you see Andy's big footprint, and so you're a toy, and then you're riding all these rides, riding Slinky Dog, playing games, all types of things. It's just really fun in that area. You can really look at the details in that as well. And
they just opened up the barbecue joint there. It's Woody's Roundup Barbecue, where you're eating, and then all of a sudden the cast member will jump out and say, "What? Hey, Andy's coming! Andy's coming!" And so you got to just
you'll hear the audio. You'll hear Andy's coming, and you have to wait until they tell you the coast is clear.
Right.
Then you can finally move and finish your dinner and stuff.
You gotta stay
so
still.
That's real fun.
Man.
Crews, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is...
Hollywood Brown Derby.
Oh, that is bad. Dangerous. I was going to say profitable. You think I'm so heartless I would send my friends into danger? You insult.
As far as parades in Hollywood Studios, they have cavalcade. So Pixar is the main studio they use. So they have the Pixar cavalcade there, where you'll see Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, and you may see Frozone. You may see a lot of different characters. Edna Mode. Who else?
Trying to think.
Woody, Bo Peep.
Did they have
Buzz Lightyear,
Sully and
I believe
Mike?
So. Now they'll probably interchange it sometimes in a parade.
I think they had Sully in the one we saw.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But yeah, that also will be on your tip board as well. So you'll know what time to get your popcorn, get your pretzel, get ready, sit on the curb, or either stand up if you would like to get ready for the cavalcade. Cavalcade is not as long as a regular parade, so it's pretty quick. So you're not sitting too long or waiting too long for that parade or cavalcade if you have smaller children that are don't have the patience for that. But when they see those characters, they'll sit still. Hopefully if they're not in that mood or hot. Okay, so once you get done with the cavalcade or cavalcade and things, and then you go to some shows, there are very popular rides like we mentioned before. You go into Toy Story Land, so we'll probably go by lands. So we'll go to Toy Story Land and we'll talk about the rides there. Go ahead.
Okay, so in Toy Story Land, I know they have Toy Story Mania, which we did do, which was very fun. It's a ride where you basically sit inside of this spinning vehicle and you have a gun in front of you.
Like an arcade game.
Yeah, it's like
shooting.
It's like an arcade game. Yeah, you shoot the targets on the screen to rack up points.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And then, of course, you have Slinky Dog Dash. That is the roller coaster over there, where no matter what, it's like a 70-minute wait to stand by. Like, no matter what. And then you're
in a real life Slinky Dog, and then you're riding the roller coaster. And at night, since Andy, he built the Toy Story Land himself, he used like Christmas lights to decorate. So if you're in Toy Story Land at night, you'll get to see it light up, and you'll see the Christmas lights and things. So if you're riding Slinky Dog in the day, it's great, but also at night, it's really beautiful as well, because you'll have those lighting and it's really, really immersive and pretty when you're doing that. Then we have Alien Swirling Saucer.
Yeah, Alien Swirling Saucer.
It's kind of
like really fun. It's almost it gave me anxiety because it's almost like you're about to crash into.
It's like it's slinging you around. You're just slinging around in the aliens, and then it's really cool because if you look up, you have the claw ahead. So we're it's like almost like we're running away from the claw or something. I don't know. That's why it's slinging you, I guess. But that's really fun.
What are they over there? It's open. I don't know.
Ouch. Thank you.
So much to do in the backyard, rides to ride, games to play, backyard toys. Have a great time. What are they saying? The name is backyard, in my opinion. Yes. Well then, have you had your cakes and eggs? Because that usually goes along with the unboxing eggs. Not yet. That is unacceptable. You have new orders. Get this toy some cake immediately.
Absolutely.
All right. You come find me if he doesn't follow orders.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you get my greener side. I was like,
Thank you.
So another one is, which is real popular, like I said, the staple of Hollywood Studios is Tower of Terror.
Yes.
Now, Tower of Terror is a ride that really, they got me on that one because they wanted me to sit in the front. And I didn't know that when you sit in the front of the elevator, there's not a handlebar to grab on. The only thing that you're holding on to, well, that's holding on to you is the belt. I couldn't find anything to hold on to. And so me and my daughter, the little one, Lavender, we're, so they first, you go into the pre-show. And the pre-show is basically, what is the name of that show?
It's like the Twilight Zone.
Right, the Twilight Zone.
So if you're familiar with the Twilight Zone, then it gives you that at the beginning, and then it kind of gives you the what happened in the Tower of Terror. If you watch the 1999 movie of the Tower of Terror, that gives you an idea of what happened to them, but it's also based in the Twilight Zone. So basically you're going back in that time and you're experiencing what they experienced.
They kind of mashed them together, if that makes any sense. But yes. you start off with the pre-show, you watching the screen and you see the Twilight Zone,
the door is open.
And then you go into the queue. And the queue is just basically you're underneath the hotel. And you're getting ready to board the service elevator. When you board the elevator, certain seats have handlebars where you can hold on to things, and certain seats don't. Me and my daughter, we sat in the front, and who else was in the front? I can't even remember who else was in the front, but we were all in the front. And first the ride starts out as you're going through a show, so you're looking over here, and there's stuff going on over here. There's a giant eye wall over here. And then eventually you get to the end and it's just pitch black dark. And all of a sudden this thing shoots you up in the air 100 miles an hour. And then shoots you back down 100 miles an hour.
You're dropping faster than gravity pulls you. Because it's literally, they have a pulley that's pulling you faster than gravity would drop you. So it's more intense than just a drop. You're getting pulled down.
It's way more intense.
So you don't really have time to embrace yourself. And then you can't even count how many drops you do, because each time you ride it's going to be a different drop count. So you're just going to be surprised every time.
Every time. Alright, so apart from the rides and the park itself, which I think is a lovely park, we're going to talk about stuff to eat, because eventually you're going to get hungry, you're going to get thirsty, besides the water that you're drinking. And by the way, if you nicely ask a cast member, they might be able to fill up this thing for you. So,
or you can get those complimentary cups of water, and then you can just pour it into it, into your water bottle.
That.
Because they're not allowed to take your water bottle and fill it up. It depends, but they're not allowed to. But just get a complimentary cup of water and go ahead and pour it into your bottle water.
So at Hollywood Studios, your quick service options is going to be contained of, besides the Brown Derby, Mickey pretzels, popcorn. It's mostly snack items. Now I will say this: souvenir ideas. This is something that I really loved when we went. This is a 50th anniversary popcorn bucket. They're not going to have these anymore. This was specifically for the 50th, which is over now. Now they're in the 100th. They also had the Skyliner souvenir buckets.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if they still have them now. I don't know if they're onto something else.
They probably they'll switch them out, but I'm sure they have the Skyliner because Skyliner is like the main. If you're on the Skyliner route hotel, like the Riviera Resort, Caribbean Beach, the Pop Century, and Art of Animation, those are the Skyliner route hotels. They'll have a Skyliner bucket, popcorn bucket that is reusable. So when you purchase this bucket, you'll get popcorn in it. But if you keep this bucket, I would recommend that you want to buy your souvenir popcorn bucket at the beginning of your first park day or something, because you can take this bucket to all the other theme parks and you'll just pay for the popcorn only, which I think is like $2.99.
Yeah, it's $2.99 for a refill.
Yeah, $2.99 for a refill, and they'll fill it up, and then you can. I like this one because they have a top on it, and we hooked it on our stroller, and just whenever a child wanted a snack or we wanted a snack, we had popcorn.
And this was like a lock or something, wasn't it? This little tab here. Push and lock into it.
Yeah.
But the Skyliner bucket, like she was saying, the Skyliner takes you directly to Hollywood Studios. So like
the transportation, yeah.
Well, yeah, as far as transportation wise go, it'll take you directly to Hollywood Studios. But they may still have the Skyliner bucket. I'm not sure. I don't get to go every day. But they might have something different, because I remember when we went, they had the 50th anniversary bucket, they had the Skyliner bucket, and then they had another bucket that I don't even remember what it was at the time. But as far as like, if you have reservations set, I know what are some popular reservations? I know the Brown Derby's one. They have
50s Primetime Cafe.
50s Primetime Cafe. And then they have there was another one. There was one with the cars. I can't remember the name.
Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi, yes.
You have the Hollywood and Vine, which is a character dining buffet. And then you have you already said the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Yes.
Yeah, you already said the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Yes.
Now the Hollywood Brown Derby, that is a sit-down restaurant. You have to make reservations for those. The ones that we're calling out now. Now the Hollywood Brown Derby, they do have a lounge that you could do. You have to do a walk-up list. You'll just walk up and join the walk-up list, or you can do it on your My Disney Experience app. When you're close enough to in the park, you can just click the walk-up list and join it. So therefore they'll send you a return time when they return back, so you can go ahead and dine. So it's kind of like you'll still get that sit-down restaurant food, but you'll be in the lobby, in the lounge area. Keep those and put them on the dresser.
So as far as quick service goes, you are able to find options in the My Disney Experience app. I don't remember what quick service did we go to grab a bite to eat. I know we went to
Woody's Lunchbox.
Yeah, Woody's Lunchbox.
We went there.
We got the tachos.
Yes.
Those are really good.
And they also have like the Lunchbox tart. It's kind of like a more a gourmet Pop-Tart. Basically, they make it themselves with like a pastry dough, and they fill it and put icing on it, and they dress it up really cute on the front. So yeah, it depends on the season that you go. You may get different flavor fillings inside of that tart, but that's a nice one to have. They have lots of different drinks. They also even have adult lemonade, which was very refreshing. But yes, you have all different types of things. They have grilled cheese with tomato soup, all types of things. And you can look at the menu on your My Disney Experience app. That's why I was saying it's very important to have it, because you can kind of plan and budget what you want. So you can be like, oh, I want that. So you already done looked it up months in advance. You already know what you're going to eat, know what you want, and there you go. You already have that set. And also, that's not on the My Disney Experience app, like these quick services. There also are always kiosks, like pretzel kiosks, that you can go to and get snacks and popcorn and different treats. They even have like a Starbucks where you can go and get coffee, Joffrey's, a lot of different kiosks that are not on the app.
Joffrey's, I wish they had those everywhere, because we got Starbucks down the street. I'm sick of Starbucks. We need more Joffrey's in our life. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about was an experience that my son and I had, was the Droid building, the Droid Depot. So we went, and you'll get to see this a bunch of videos that we took of it. We went, and this is what we brought back. He's laying on his side right now. So at the Droid Depot, and they currently went up on their price, but it's not by much. I think it's like $10 more, which is still worth it. We built this BB-8 droid. I had to find the center. This guy works. He still works. It's months later. I love this thing. He loves this thing. When I go back, I'm building a R series so we can fight, because this is great. This is the controller that comes with it. And then also, in the cast member was so nice, they gave me a box to go with it.
That's what was talking about, the birthday perks.
That's what this was the
some birthday perks.
Because this box was $25 on its own.
Yes.
So
when they see that birthday badge or celebrating sometimes they was like, go ahead, you can have it. I'm like, wow, that's so sweet.
We're not saying that they will do that.
Not every time, but it's just
I was shocked when he gave me the box. I had no idea, because they were saying, hey, the box is $25. So I was like, okay. And he just handed it to me. I was like, well, thank you. He said, happy birthday, have a good day.
It's a Disney magic.
It's a Disney magic,
Pixie
you know? And this was such a wonderful experience, especially for my son. He is a huge Star Wars fan. So him going in there, he actually started tearing up.
Yeah.
He actually started tearing up. He was like, Dad, I'm so happy. I said, I'm glad you're happy too. I'm glad you're happy, son, because I've never been here, and this is amazing. And he was, we was just talking about Star Wars facts the whole time, and people in line was talking to us about Star Wars facts. They even have these really nice bags. They're like $80, but if you can do it, it's definitely worth it. It's just for the droid.
And bring you an extra bag. I bought this off Amazon. It's like a small, just clear bag. I know I've saw people recommend getting this so therefore they can walk around and kind of show off what they're made, So I did get this bag off Amazon, so therefore he can have a separate bag to put his droid in, so he can walk around the park and not have to worry about it being damaged. So, but once we built the droid, we kept it with us at all times, like on the rides and everything. We kept this thing. We did not put it in the stroller because I did not want it to walk away from us. Unfortunately,
this will walk away from us.
So we kept it close and kept it safe, so therefore it won't get beat up and broken. And if something were to happen to it while you're there or something, you could probably just take it back and they'll probably help you out with it. Yeah.
They'll help you fix it or anything like that. But that's as long as you're in the park.
Yes.
So if you take it home and you decide you want to throw it against the wall for some weird reason, there's nothing they can do. As long as you're in the park, like if you come back to Droid Depot and say, hey, my BB-8's not BB-8ing.
Right.
They can help you out with that. Now
I saw one because they like to get those, and they're like literally steps away from where they built it, and they're just going. The next you know, it crashed or something, and they're like, oh man, I broke it.
go for the BB-8, honestly. BB-8s are nice. Hey, they're building the droids over there.
Look at R2D2 we got on.
What kind of shells you pick out? Oh, some black ones?
Black head.
Oh yeah, those are nice. Yeah, you had a head earlier. Oh no, you put it back down.
Yeah, I did. That's not the head I'm looking for. I'm looking for a flat head.
Flat head? Those are for the R2D2s, I think.
No, they have one of these just with a
Oh, it's just flat. Okay. All right. I'll be on the lookout for you. That's to make sure you got everything you needed. Now, there's an arrow here, so probably find an arrow on this one.
No arrow.
Yeah, there it is. And it looks like
Press the red button and watch it come online. Let's get you packed up. Oh, no,
Did you hear that?
Have to
yeah,
put it in your pocket. We have a box for you.
uh-oh. Here, move it again.
Otherwise, at 2 in the morning,
Dude, you got your droid.
it's funny now. It's funny now. Wait till it happens and then you can't see.
I used to have a Furby, I understand.
I've heard that.
Now, they do have Savi, which is, that's where you build the lightsaber.
Yes.
And this one kid walked up and he had a lightsaber. It was really nice. And he saw my son playing with the droid. He was like, I want that.
and the lightsaber costs more than the
lightsaber
droid.
costs
So
way more than the droid.
But yes, you can definitely pick those options. Now you can again on your My Disney Experience app, you can book that experience up to what 60 days.
60 days.
60 days before your park day. So if you're going to the theme park or if you're a resort guest, what you want to do is check in on your My Disney Experience app. Even though you're not close to check in, go ahead and check in. So when your 60 days hit, and you can pick within your time frame of your stay.
Right.
Does that make sense? So if you're staying 5 days, you want to check in. So therefore, that full time that you're staying, if you're going to Hollywood Studios at the end of your stay, therefore you'll be able to pick it on the first day of your 60-day mark. So that's just a little tip there for you.
One thing I will say, if you can't do it anymore and you want to cancel, they have a 1-day cancellation policy. So if you go to the park and you want to cancel at the park, you're going to cancel it. But depending on your reason, they're going to charge you the full price of that droid. So you can either go and build a droid and have it, or pay for it and not have it at all.
Yeah.
So if you can't do it, make sure you cancel a day before. But other than that, that was our Hollywood Studios
Day.
Like, that was a summary. It was a lot. It was a lot, but that's the most we could put in this video without having to make a part 2 to the part 2.
Yes.
So, that's it. Okay?
Yeah. Well, enjoy the videos that we're going to show you of our Hollywood Studios Day.
All right. Until the next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Probe droid, you're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble. Hey, you're not authorized.